typical way of owning a home is go to the bank, get a 15 to 25-year mortgage, and then you spend the rest of your life paying for that mortgage.
Yes.
Paying for that mortgage. Most people finish their mortgages just at the point when they're retiring. So that's why we call it a disruptor of life, because if you are paying education and you have a mortgage, you probably are not doing anything else. That's true. All that you're doing. So what you have no lifestyle. So if your job circumstances change,
yes,
the whole thing collapses. The whole thing collapses. Because remember, you own a home with your last installment.
Oh, that's true.
So one of the three assumptions that always trouble me about at a 15 to 25-year mortgage is it assumes that your earning power will remain the same, if not more, for the next 15 to 25 years.
That's true.
It assumes that no one in your family will be sick or will need a lot of money, emergency money,
yes,
for the next 15 to 25 years. It implies that you will be able to retain or sustain your job for the next 15 to 25 years. These are very big assumptions, and the likelihood of them changing is almost certain.
Yes.
It's almost certain. It's also almost certain. So then, what we do here is to talk to our customers. Okay, I want to own a home in the next 5 years, and I don't want to own it through a mortgage arrangement because of interest rate situation in the country. So we set the goal. We start working and working. We hold that client's hand as they are putting in their contributions, and we are making the returns until on that 5th year or so, they have enough money to buy a property or to build a property. So we keep knocking off every goal. Another thing that is also in security portfolio is also emergency.
Yes.
There are so many emergencies. The number one cause for family bankruptcy, at least it is known in the US, is medical bills.
Yes.
It is also the same here. That's why there is a lot of mchangos. But if there is one thing that can wipe out an entire family savings and portfolios, is medical.
Yes.
Medical bills. When my wife was in ICU, there was a time when she was on support on almost every body function. We were spending about 500,000 shillings every day.
500,000 per day?
Every day, 500,000 shillings. And she was there for 21 days.
Wow.
Now, there are people who stay in ICU for a month, 2 months. That is enough to wipe out the most lucrative medical cover you can get. And you've got to chip into your savings and ask me for mchango. So it is so easy for someone who is doing well to find themselves that the only place you can access medical facilities is Kenyatta, the place that you never wanted to go.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but it's just that, if you're used to taking your kids to Aga Khan, Nairobi Hospital, and all of a sudden you're going to a public hospital, it's another
shock.
Material change in lifestyle, which again affects them psychologically.
Yeah.
So lifestyle portfolio, security portfolios, and then we start. But once you have these two portfolios, you achieve what we call financial redemption. Other people would call it financial freedom. I call it financial redemption.
Yes.
Because once you have these two types of portfolios, you actually show up at work because you really enjoy what you love doing.
Exactly.
I can be a waiter, but I'm the best waiter in town because I am doing this because I just love talking to people.
Yeah.
I just love meeting new people. I just love that whole environment and the contacts that I make in that environment. So this is first two most important steps. And then from there you move to what you call an aspirational portfolio. Aspirational portfolio is about you've now achieved the minimums.
Yes.
You will never lack food on the table. You will always have a shelter. You have even moved your kids' education sorted. Your emergency
good.
Sorted. Your home ownership sorted.
Yeah.
Now you're like, you know what? Now it's time to enjoy life. Now it's time to have some fun. So now the house you had owned before is on one side of town. Now you want to move to the leafy suburbs. You want to upgrade. It's a time now to move from your Toyota to some European car.
Yes.
You're upgrading. But remember, you're doing this very deliberate without touching the other portfolio.
Yes.
You see? So you're upgrading your life. And you enjoying your life. And this is something I'm so passionate about. Investment is about helping people to enjoy their lives
Yes.
and to live their purpose. We
Wow.
don't invest just for the sake of investing. We don't invest to make 1,000%.
Yes.
We don't invest to impress people with our return. We invest because we want them to enjoy their lives. We want them to have fun. We want them to enjoy their children. We want them to enjoy their grandchildren. We want them to be present in their businesses. We want them to be to enjoy life with a big spoon. You shouldn't feel guilty about it. That's one side, aspirational. Then the other side of it is philanthropy. You quickly realize after you've done all these things, hey, what will I be remembered for?
Legacy.
What will I be remembered for?
Yes.
And it's something that we've seen some of our customers, they come to Pius, I am sorted on my retirement. I am sorted in my home ownership. I am sorted in education. My kids are done. I even have holiday homes. I even am living in the best neighborhoods in Nairobi. But now, what I'm really passionate about is these young people who have brilliant ideas. Can you set up a portfolio for me that I can, the fruits of that portfolio I'll be using to fund venture capital opportunities for young people who would otherwise not get any funding through the mainstream banking or other sources of capital.
Wow.
And I love doing that. I enjoy doing that. And just watching it unfold, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable to see people being very deliberate about helping others. People who don't come from your tribe, people who don't even know you, but because they have a good idea, they are funded. I am passionate about education.
Yes.
How can I help people who are disadvantaged, children who are disadvantaged, to go to school and to not to miss, and to give them a platform to build their own lives and give them a chance that the other wealthy children from wealthy backgrounds are enjoying. That is also a mission, you know. So that's what we call aspirational and philanthropic portfolio. And the final one is a legacy portfolio.
Yes.
And here is about answering two questions. Who will inherit you and how will they inherit you?
Okay.
I've spent time with people in their 80s, senior citizens. And they tell me, Pius, I have all this property, but guess what? None of my children is interested. They are not interested. So a guy who is 80 years old shows up in the office every day.
Wow.
They have young, yeah, they have youthful children.
Yes.
Well educated, best schools. But guess what? They are not interested in continuing with what their parent was doing.
Yes.
So that's one dilemma already. Others tell me, Pius, you know what? My children are incapable of doing what I have been doing. They cannot sustain this hard-earned estate. They cannot sustain it, and I know it. And they're in a dilemma. So, one of the things that I learned from that, me personally, because I was one of those people who was always saying, I want my children to continue what I've always said. Like, no. My children have their own unique God-given purpose.
That's true.
My purpose is financial redemption. Is their purpose going to be financial redemption?
No,
not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
So I don't have to box them in my purpose. You get, eh?
Yeah.
But with professional arrangement with institutions like Nabo Capital, Nabo Capital can continue managing my portfolio even when I'm not here.
Yeah.
And then I'll just say, the incomes that come from this portfolio, please ensure that all the children in my lineage, none of them will ever miss education.
So the portfolio can actually outlast you.
Absolutely. That's the whole idea of legacy portfolio. How will it outlast me? So you see, I'm thinking about my children's children.
Yes.
I want this portfolio to outlive me, outlive my children, and outlive their children, and continue. This is legacy.
Okay.
This is legacy. And so how this wealth, so my children still benefit from my wealth. And I free them to pursue their passions and their God-given purposes.
Yes.
Without necessarily boxing them to my purpose. So I'm a customer of Nabo for the long haul. For the long haul. So this is how you prepare for the loss of a breadwinner. The loss of a breadwinner. You can see we've ended with a legacy.
Yes.
Beyond the life of the owner of the portfolio.
Wow.
The starting point is anybody who is listening to me, and I've seen situations whereby the man was the provider of everything, the woman was taking care of the children, and now the man is gone. And how do you prepare for such an eventuality? As a couple, you need to sit down and you need to start insulating your family from depending on the active income of the breadwinner. And how you do that is by setting up these portfolios which I've spoken about deliberately. Don't start by buying holiday homes. Don't start by setting up philanthropic portfolios. Start by answering the basic need. My children, my wife or a remaining spouse will never lack food on the table, will never lack shelter on top of their head, will never lack clothing, basics. Do it. My children will never miss going to school because I am not there. Yeah. My children will not miss a good quality medical care because I'm not there. How you need to put these things in place. So even in the eventuality of a couple divorcing or going separate ways, it actually makes it much easier to co-parent, which I hear. That's
it's a new buzzword.
Yeah, you can co-parent and without really bringing clashes in your after marriage life.
Yeah.
So this is key. This is very, 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 very key.